Welcome to the Bunny Show, live.
Sex saves marriages. Some say I'm a goddess with both brains and compassion. I say I'm 20% girl brain and 100% fun. I want to help you navigate the labyrinth that is the female mind. If you're not having sex with her, what are you even doing? It's only too much sex when it interferes with your mission. What we're talking about translates not only into success with women, but into social and business interactions across the board with anyone. I want you to win in life, in business, and primarily in sex. I'm like Dr. Ruth meets Nina Hartley, except I only take my clothes off in public when there's tequila shots involved. I'm so excited for the show. Are you ready? Let's do this. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Bunny Show Live. I am so glad that you are here for a bit of Bunny Church. Today we've got one primary topic, and then of course we'll answer any questions that you guys throw at us. So we are super excited that you're here. I am thankful for my darling Worth Playboy over here running the chatterbox. So jump in there, and if you guys throw me a question that you would like me answered to be answered in this show, he will let me know if I don't see it. If you would like to submit questions for one of our other shows, whether it's the Morning Hustle with Worth Playboy, whether it's a podcast topic, whether it's on a future episode of the Bunny Show Live, Lunch Day with Bunny, you name it. Also go to myplayboysbunny.com/men, and you can submit a question for Q&A. Also, just for the record, I have been doing a lot of work on my website, on myplayboysbunny.com, and I am super tickled with it. So if you have not checked it out in a while, I would really appreciate it. And feel free to give me your feedback. Also, I agree that Thursday's episode of The Morning Hustle was fucking fire. We covered so many topics and we had such great discussion. I was like, of course, we always end the show and I'm always like, that was the best show yet, like literally every week. But truly, I was super tickled with the Morning Hustle. We covered so many topics and answered so many questions. It was absolute fire. So I was really tickled with that and couldn't agree more that last week was pretty dang good. All right, you beautiful creatures. Sorry, I was looking at the link that was going up. Today I want to talk about the seasons of life when girls are open and available to casual hookups, because there are many. Sorry, I have it here. There are many, and there are always girls who are available, ready, primed, and genuinely that's what they're looking for, is just casual relationships. So whether fuck buddy, whether it's a rotation girl, whether it's a friend with benefits, just not. And I feel like a quick glance in the online dating world or even social media, where girls often love to put guys on blast for, jumping into their DMs or, long LTRs only, no hookups, all this kind of stuff. I feel like that gives a little bit of a negative connotation that girls are not available and willing. But you guys know, if you're tuning into this, you likely already have hookups that could circle the globe. It's just part of our nature. However, girls will forever deny it because hookups, rotations, friends with benefits, these all fit under the category of doesn't count sex. So from our perspective, from the female perspective, it just doesn't count. So therefore, we don't admit to it. If you are not getting Fort Worth Playboy's newsletter, we did something fun yesterday. We actually sent emails to one another's list. Just, as a guest poster, it was a lot of fun. We had fun with it, at least. If you are on one or both of our lists, then you got both of them. If you are on just one or the other and didn't get them, go digging, because a lot of times I feel like our emails go to spam or junk, or we link stuff and things like that. We just want you to know what is available and what is out there that we'd like you to check out. So I think sometimes our stuff kind of gets filtered through different email servers. So if you did not get those emails yesterday, or if you're not on our lists, it's not too late. Jump on our email list, because then you will get our most recent email that we just sent, which was super fun. My email that I guest posted on Fort Worth's was all about doesn't count sex. So it just goes right along with this conversation that we're having today. Whew. Okay. First and foremost, the first category of girls who are willing, able, and looking for casual sex, casual relationships, keeping it light and fun, are college girls. There are college girls who go to school for that MRS degree, and a lot of times they may even already have their high school boyfriend pinpointed for that purpose. But they're also going to school specific, and a lot of times they're avoiding party schools. They're going specifically, generally, to private universities. They're going to more upper echelon universities and colleges that are truly known for having serious, respectable, sophisticated men at them. So girls who are looking for that MRS degree are not going to pay any attention to you guys who are just wanting to be a fun, casual bro. Like, they are not going to give you a second glance. So don't feel concerned if you are a guy just wanting kind of a girl or a series of girls who are just casual and aren't expecting anything from you. Those girls are going to actually avoid you like the plague. So those MRS degree girls, if you don't fit aligned with their ultimate goal for getting a husband nailed down quick, then you are not even going to be on their radar. So don't feel like you're going to try and create a casual relationship with someone seeking an MRS degree. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. But college girls, often it's their first time out of the house. It's their first time. It was my first time without a curfew. That being said, I actually went to a Christian university, and so therefore I still had a curfew, but it was a later curfew than I had at home. And I felt like I was going buck wild with that extra hour and a half that I got on school nights. It was hilarious. But college girls are often open to experiences, and they want to have experiences because they're away from their parents, they're away from their high school friends, and they can completely reinvent themselves in the way that they want to be viewed by the world as far as their limited understanding at that stage in life goes. And so they are often seeking new experiences. Now, I'm not saying they won't regret most of the experiences that they end up having, depending on where they spin off to, but they are open to it. And that's all you need to know for the sake of this conversation is you're looking for girls who are open to playing, to you being the fun guy, to you just bringing the entertainment and giving her good feels, and that equals pussy tingles. So that is what our goal is for the sake of this conversation. Oftentimes, these girls will meet guys at frat parties, at random college parties, at the college bars in the neighborhood, even on campus, even in classes. You can meet these girls. If you're in college, you're meeting them everywhere. In fact, we talk pretty often about how college is the biggest pool that you will ever be able to pick from of available women in your entire life. No matter what profession you go into, and no matter how big or small the university, college years are absolutely prime for meeting and hooking up with girls. Now, if you, gentlemen, are beyond college years and still would like to hook up with college girls, then you need to be hanging out at all of the college bars. You need to be benevolent in a lot of ways. You need to flash the cash. I mean, I truly think that if you are an older man, and I'm going to say older than 25, and you're hanging out in college bars, then you need to bring a lot of added value, and you also need to bring a lot of hardcore game. So aloof indifference, incredible self-confidence, irrational self-confidence. You need to be available to buy drinks without scoffing. I mean, like literally, and Fort Worth may disagree with a little bit of that. He says no. But I think that for an older than 25-year-old man to bang and attract college girls, you need to look like you have your shit so together and you are flowing in cash, whether you are or not. And I'm not saying, how do I say this? I'm not encouraging you to like buy bottles and tables for like everyone in the club. I'm just saying, don't stress over buying girls drinks. Don't, fritter away and do calculations as to what you can afford or what the tip is. You need to appear to be incredibly solvent, because that is sexy to younger girls who are surrounded by college boys who don't yet have their shit together. So you need to look so put together in the most fun way possible. Anything?
Money should be a non-issue.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Thank you. Money should be a non-issue. So it's not, even if you're inside completely stressing and don't know if you're going to be able to pay your rent, if you buy these hot girls drinks that you're trying to bang, then you should still pretend like money is a non-issue. You could be homeless living in your car, but in the bar, you are not stressing over it at all. The second category of girls who love those casual relationships, love to be a part of rotations, love friends with benefits, love fuck buddies and one-night stands, are girls who just got out of a relationship. They just got out of a serious relationship. They are done with men, theoretically, until like 3 days in and they get horny. They want to experiment. They maybe have been with their previous boyfriend or husband for a long time, and they maybe don't have a lot of sexual experience, or they just want some different sexual experience, because by the end of that relationship, the sex had died, the attraction had died. Likelihood is he was telling her she wasn't any good in bed, she was ugly, she was fat, nobody else would ever want to fuck her, nobody would ever want to put up with her shit. All kinds of hateful, albeit true, but hateful things that men say whenever relationships are degrading. So these girls who are coming out of a long-term relationship, whether it's a divorce or just a breakup, have something to prove, and they can prove it on your dick. So they are primed and ready to get a little attention, because they haven't gotten attention in a long time. And they certainly haven't gotten any positive attention. They've gotten negative attention from their husband or long-term boyfriend that they just got out of a relationship with. So they truly are ready to jump on new dick, but they also have likely had negative experiences with that dating relationship or marriage. And so they very much are not interested in considering a long-term relationship anytime soon. So just keep that in mind. You know, this is why when girls start posting on social media about their breakups or divorces, why you guys jump straight into their DMs on Facebook or whatnot. Bad idea. It just doesn't, unfortunately, that puts the blockade up. However, if you don't acknowledge the breakup, if you just happen to like their stuff, if you happen to comment innocuously about something in particular that's not related to the breakup, and then socially run into them or go in the same circles as them, in time, it will be easier to jump into her DMs. But right off the bat is a terrible time, because they've got their boundaries up. They know you. Maybe you're a friend of their exes. Like, there are all kinds of reasons why that's a bad idea right off the bat. But if you meet a girl who just went through a breakup in a bar, if you meet her out at a restaurant, if you work with her, if you've already got like some sort of connection to her that's not in some way attached to her previous life, then they are primed and ready to spread their legs for you or whoever else comes from out. All right. Next, I'm going to say anyone, number three, girls who are going through big transitions. Now, girls who are traveling, girls who just moved to a new city, girls who just changed careers, got a new job. All of these things are big life changers. And very often, I don't know, you guys don't tend to be like this, but females, when we go through one big change, we tend to change everything. Like, not just one thing can change. It's like, I went through a breakup, so I quit my job and I changed my city and I changed careers. And I'm also like, I think the only thing that stays the same are the kids and the animals. It seems like, oh yeah, haircuts. Exactly. They change their hair. You know, they change their clothes. They change a lot of things. Like, everything changes when big changes happen. I could do a whole show just on this. That would be actually a really good show. When big changes happen, everything changes. It's not ever just one thing. So keep that in mind. If a girl says she's new to town, prime. If a girl is showing off a new haircut, whether you like it or not, prime. If a girl just changed careers and is maybe new at your company, or is a social circle girl that you know just up and went through a huge upheaval career-wise or otherwise, prime. These girls are ready to spread their legs and just fuck. Girls want to have fun. And they want to have fun with a guy who just gets it and is not going to put the pressure on them for anything more. The old saying goes that you leave the relationship stuff up to her. So you're in charge of sex, she's in charge of relationship. If you are fucking a girl, if she's part of a rotation, if she's a friend with benefits, if she's a social circle girl that you hook up with casually, if she gets to the point where she's wanting more from you, she will let you know. You do not have to worry about it. You don't have to push for it. And you don't have to give it any thought until she mentions it. And then you can gauge by kind of where you are and what you are feeling there too. Next, older adults who are on the retirement end of the spectrum. Now, this may not be hot to 99% of you guys, but older adults who are either divorced, they're widowed, they're retired, they have free time on their hands, and they're tired of being alone. A lot of retirement age, we'll call them, individuals, especially women, you know, there's kind of that crazy cat lady phase of life that, you know, I would say 50-year-olds go through if they're single and haven't been with anyone in a while. But once they realize that they're not as surrounded by friends and family, that their kids don't visit as often as they thought they would because their kids are fucking busy, they've got their own families, they've got their own lives, then women tend to want people around. And you cannot get the same energy, you can't do the same kinds of things with your female friends, even if she has a strong female social circle, as you can with a man. The energy is just different. And women who are retirement age or older, they want that male energy. They want someone to kind of do things with, to dote on. What's great about that is oftentimes they don't want marriage. They have financial, you know, considerations to make. They have things to protect financially, physically. You know, they don't want to change houses. They don't want to risk the inheritance that they've spent their entire life building up for their children. All of these things. So girls, women, women who are, let's say, retirement age or older, oftentimes they'd love to have a boyfriend. They'd love to have a running buddy. They'd love to have someone who they can have occasional or frequent sex with, and have someone to travel with, to go to dinner with, to go on dates with, and to discover new hobbies with. She's oftentimes been very set in her ways. Okay, I'm going to get off of that topic because it's all about old women, and nobody here who's watching this has an interest in that. But remember, when you are older, that if you find yourself alone and you'd like a female running buddy, that is actually an unbelievable good time to pick up chicks.
Well, the question right before you started, I don't know if you even saw it. He's asking about cougars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was perfect timing.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, so let me pull that up. Will Francis, let me just put that on there. How to pick up cougars. So I think that this is a great, perfect timing in that question, because if you have an inkling for older women, then that kind of age is a great time. I would also say that really any time, once women's kids reach about 15, 16, once they have a driver's license of their own, or have at least have friends who have, you know, freedom and things. They've got a lot of things on their plate. The kids are busy. So once the kids are busy, then the women feel like they're not needed anymore. And this is the worst feeling in the world for a female, especially a single woman who her whole life has to revolve around those babies at whatever age they are. So at least you can't tell where I lay on the spectrum there. So they are really easy to pick up, and they're just distracted enough by children or grandchildren that they can't necessarily be there all the time. So fucking around with cougars is a great way to play if that's your thing. I've never been attracted to younger guys. I've literally always liked them 10 years older or 10 years older or older. So it's not on my radar. But there are a lot of women who are so sick of men their own age. They don't like the idea of if she's 50, she hates the idea of thinking that she'd have to date a 60 or 65-year-old. That just sounds so old. A lot of women balk at that, at just the idea of it. So a 35, 40, 45-year-old giving her a little attention, that is hot. She wants your attention, whether you are 20 or whether you're 60. Girls just need attention. It's our oxygen. And if we're not getting it, we won't be around. So that was a really good question. So mainly just making yourself available and showing your interest in her goes a long way in getting that cougar's attention. So I'm all for it. I say yes. And she has more time. She has more money to play. She has more freedom. And she loves the attention. So picking up cougars at this time is a great time to pick girls up. Let's see. Hold on. CD says 40-ish is a great age for women. Their kids are over 10 and self-sufficient, usually divorced well, and are re-experiencing their early 20s. Exactly. Because I'm 45, 40 years old or so, the kids are old enough to get themselves dressed. They don't need you as much anymore. A lot of times they can, even if they're not driving, they can be home alone, or they're easy to babysit for people to jump in. Play dates are easy. It's like, hey, can Tim sleep over tonight? Whatever the case may be, she can afford stuff. She's not stressed as much. And she knows what she likes, and she likes to have fun. She's still young enough to have some vigor and some energy, especially if she's taken any care of herself whatsoever. But she's old enough to kind of have good tastes and appreciate you and understand that it's hot to get your attention. So yes, great input, guys. Where to meet these people, where to meet these girls who are interested in casual relationships, dating, hookups, whatever the case may be, but aren't looking for something serious. I would like you to check out, if you haven't already, my Magic Bullet online dating profile handbook. That applies for the classic apps, but it also applies to some social media dating. And I am actually working on a specific how to meet girls through social media book. So if you have not already, I suggest you sign up for my Evergreen program. I did not link that. Sorry about that, babe. But if you don't already own every single thing in my library, I highly recommend my Evergreen VIP bundle. Is going to save you money. It's everything in my current library, which is either 9 or 10 titles currently, and automatic purchase of everything future. So any future attraction, dating, relationships, marriage, sex books that I launch, I will send them to you automatically without any further purchases. So keep that in mind. If you like my stuff, then I really highly recommend going along with that. It's already a reduced price for what you're getting in the library, and then every single book that I publish will be automatically sent to you, and it's gets cheaper and cheaper for everything that I publish. So it's a win-win. So whether it's the Magic Bullet Online Dating Profile Handbook or the Evergreen program, you will get all the tips that you need for meeting girls, for meeting women who are ready for some casual fun with you guys. So clubs, restaurant bars. I recommend higher end restaurant bars is a great way to meet higher end women. Hobbies, clubs, things that are specific to your certain interests go a long way, because then you automatically have something built in to discuss. I would not recommend like Alcoholics Anonymous. Like, let's not have any negative connections. I think that that's a way to build a really quick, unhealthy codependence. But if you will build relationships based on, or sexual casual relationships based on hobbies that are maybe what you use to cope with alcohol independence, then that's different. So if you love shooting, if you love golf, if you love racquetball, if you love pickleball, which is all the rage right now, if you want to meet women, especially cougars, hey guys, oh my gosh, this is such a good idea. If you want to meet cougars, take up pickleball, because women my age and older are all about pickleball right now. You know what? Just forget everything else I've ever said. If you want to date women who are, or hook up with women who are 40s, 50s, and 60s, just take up pickleball. End of story.
They know why you're there.
Seriously. I mean, and you get to be a badass because you are out there and you're kicking ass and taking names and having fun. And it's such a rave right now. I mean, it is the way to meet women. And women who are single out on that pickleball court, they will spend hours playing pickleball because they don't have anything else to do. So you can be there, something else to do. It's a win-win. So social circle girls are a great way to have casual hookups. You know, you see one another socially, and then you kind of just get a little bit closer to one or the other. Everybody knows how that works. Everybody's got those friends that became fuck buddies or became girlfriends or became whatever. That's how it works. It's just casual fun. Also, you know, George Bruno made a great point whenever I interviewed him on the Bunny interviews the other night. He said, if you are looking to either date, but this applies to if you're looking for meeting new women, let people know. People don't automatically know this. So if you're looking for a wife, let your friends know, because then they will actually be on the lookout for you as well, for girls who are interested in that kind of thing. If you want to meet more women, the same rules applies. Let your friends and your friends' wives and girlfriends know that you would love to meet more women. You know, I don't feel like I have a great way to meet women. Where I work, I don't really get to meet that many women, but I'd really like to meet some more women. I'd like to meet a higher echelon of women, whatever the case may be. You don't tell the girls that you're wanting to meet a bunch of girls for hookups. You're telling the girls, I'd like to meet more women, and then let the friends and their wives and their girlfriends do the work for you. They will literally be shoving girls your direction. So I'm from Texas. That's hilarious. I'm a Texas girl. I think that I am from Wisconsin, but I'm actually from Texas. So yes, quite Southern. So other ways to meet these women, you know, networking events, through work. There are always, you know, kind of ways to play with work connections of various kinds without shitting where you eat, which I do not recommend, especially if you're looking for something very casual. It's usually a pretty dangerous way to play. But just look for girls who are not necessarily wanting to take on a bunch of responsibility. There are girls who are like, I don't want a boyfriend. I have enough responsibility in my life, just raising my kids, keeping up with my grandkids, doing my job. going to painting parties with my girlfriends every other day. They just want someone to bring the enjoyment, to bring the good feels, and to bring the hard dick. And that's where you come in. Girls have stressful, boring lives. And they're stressful not because they're more stressful than your life. They're stressful because we are not as well equipped to dealing with the stress. So it becomes kind of an all-encompassing problem or concern or distraction for women, where men roll with it a little bit better. You internalize it better. We externalize it. We put it out there for everyone to find out. So women have stressful lives, and given their own devices, they also have incredibly boring lives. So if you can introduce them to something new, fun, and give them a little bit different experience than they would have otherwise, it is a win-win for you and in return for her, because a girl who is well fucked, whether she is in a relationship or just in a casual relationship where it's fuck buddy, yada yada, she is a happier girl. Moods are completely changed. Worlds are altered when the sex life is strong. And Fort Worth loves to say that the world would be a much happier place if all women had my ideas about sex and were as open to always being available, no holds barred enthusiasm, and just loving the pleasure that it brings, because girls are just in better moods when they have strong sex lives. And that can apply to casual sex as well. I love it. Are there any questions, Fort Worth?
Not that I see.
Let's see. Jake is saying,
Go ahead.
are there any cities for meeting these attractive women in their 40s? I would say any major metropolitan area is ripe for meeting women that are more available. Like, the bigger the city, the more apt you are to find a better pond of women. I feel like you're wanting to say something. Oh,
Just anything that's big enough that they can be anonymous.
Oh, good point. Okay, anyway, any city, Fort Worth has just said, any city that's big enough that they can be anonymous. So this is true for, they need to not worry that they're going to run into a cousin, a brother, a parent, a grandparent, someone they went to school with, where you are dating, especially if she's dating multiple men or in casual hookup situations. So the bigger the city, the more anonymous she can be. If she's traveling, she gets to be anonymous. This is why, if she's changed jobs, if she's gone into a big career change, she's changed jobs, she's changed cities, right, for casual hookups. So anytime that you hear a girl is new in town, there's a reason why movies are based on this premise. And it's always this new hot relationship. She just moved into town and da 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 da. There's a reason for this. It's because they are ripe for new sex, and you are just the man to give it. But Jake, I would say, if you are looking for these kinds of girls, if you don't live in a major metropolitan area, either move to one or head that way for the weekend and just enjoy the nightlife, enjoy, hanging out in cafes and coffee shops during the day, play pickleball. Everything will add to your likelihood. It's a poles in the water. It's a numbers game. The more poles you have in the water, the bigger the pond, the more fish. So go to where there are more fish, and you will be more likely to find these kinds of women. What other questions do we have? Good job, guys. I love the interaction that we have on this show. Oops, I just put it back on there. And I appreciate all of your jumping in and joining the conversation. If you haven't already, Fort Worth Playboys, Build Your Dating Rotation is a great way to have a lot of casual sex with a lot of casual women, and they're okay with it. This is the way that I met Fort Worth. I was very much a part of his rotation, and I just kind of became more than that. Again, you're in charge of the sex, she's in charge of the relationship. But it's a great way to keep the sex fresh. It's a great way to meet a lot of women and be able to compare women at the same time of your life against one another. And you can very much use that knowledge to really understand what you like. If you end up wanting something a little bit more, if you're actually looking for a wife, if you're actually looking for something more serious and just more monogamous. I was going to say monotonous. That's not true, but you can compare women against one another in real time and kind of field your options a little bit better. Find out what you like really and what best works with your life. So build your dating rotation, whether you are actually looking for a serious relationship or if you are just looking to fuck a lot of hot chicks, then it's a great way to play and to always have girls in your rotation that are available to play with. So all of these girls are looking for you. They want you and they want what you bring. Pickleball is code for casual sex. CD, I'm digging this idea. This is our new code word, guys. If you see it on Twitter, if you hear it on YouTube in the next decade, let's say, until pickleball goes to be completely lame, then it's our code for casual hookups. I think that's hot. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Thank you to Fort Worth Playboy for always making me look good and for helping to field y'all's questions and just making sure you have all the links that you need, making sure that you know where to go, responding to your messages. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Thursday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, join Fort Worth and I both live for the Morning Hustle. If you guys cannot catch our shows live, we totally get it, especially since pretty much everything we do is at 10 a.m. It seems to be our magic number. Then they are always available after the show for you to watch. And they're all available on our YouTube channel, Fort Worth Playboy. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you again. Bye. I love it. I love it. I love it. So much fun.
Is there any link you want me to leave at the very bottom?
Not that I can think of.